Welcome to Fit, Rich, Sane. You want to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. And I am going to show you the shortest and the most efficient route that you can take today to become fitter, richer, and saner without spending hours every day. This is episode 3, and in this series, I am trying to tell you how you can become very rich. To see what I write about, you can head over to fitrichsane.com. Today, we are going to discuss the basics of life insurance. Whenever a salesperson is pitching a product to you, always remember that if it sounds too complicated, it's best to ignore it. This is especially true in case of investment products. If you need any help in simplifying anything that you don't understand, send me an email at hi@fitrichsane.com. Let us start with what you are not supposed to do. Do not go for an endowment plan, a money back plan, or anything that gives you a return. The premiums of these insurance plans are way too high and the returns are way too low. Investing the difference of this premium somewhere else will bring you a much higher return. The basic purpose of a life insurance policy is that your family should get a large, adequate amount of money in case of your death. And the worst part is that when you are chasing returns for yourself, this basic purpose goes unfulfilled. Which brings us to what you are supposed to do. Get a term life insurance policy. The best time to get it was from your first salary. The second best time is today. The longer you delay getting it, the higher will be your annual premium. Also, statistically speaking, if the death occurs within a few years of the purchase of the policy, the chances of rejection really shoot up. As we discussed earlier, this policy gives absolutely no return unless the condition of the insurance is invoked, that is, in case of the insured person's death. This is to ensure that your family faces no financial problems in case of your death. Talking about the minimum cover that you should go for, that is, the minimum amount your family should get in case of your death, should be first and foremost enough to cover all your liabilities, debts, business debts, etc. Secondly, it should cover all major future expenses that you can account for today. Your children's education, their weddings. Apart from that, it should be 10 times your annual income. Accounting for inflation, that should be enough to cover your family for 6 to 8 years, along with covering your debts and major expenses. Coming to the next important factor, the minimum age till which you should insure yourself is 60 years. In most cases, this is the age by which in any case you would have mostly stopped earning, and your family members are also in most cases independent by the time you reach this age. I know these are way too many bullet points to take in all at once, so you can head over to fitrichsane.com/term term, that is fitrichsane.com/term, to get all these bullet points as a list in front of you written forever. Anyway, so there are a few add-on factors that you must consider while going for a term insurance plan. The first one is an accident cover. In this case, basically your premium increases slightly, but in case of an accident, depending on the kind of injury, you get a large fixed amount, and this is recommended for anybody who travels a lot. The second add-on factor is a critical illness cover, which entitles you to a fixed amount on the diagnosis, on just the diagnosis of a critical illness. And the third important add-on factor that you can consider is a future premium waiver add-on. By this, again, your premium will go up slightly, but in case you get into an accident or in case of some other predefined clauses, you can stop paying your premiums and the policy will remain in force. The next thing where people get absolutely confused when choosing their life insurance policy is which company they should go for, which company they should buy their term insurance from. While unfortunately there is no one answer, of course, otherwise the other companies would have shut down by now, there are a few things that you can consider. The first is that you should go for a trusted name. Even if the premium of a company you have heard for the first time is lower, it seems like they are offering much more benefits, it's best to avoid those. Go with a trusted name. The second thing that you can look for is a good claim settlement ratio, which is basically exactly how it sounds like. It is the number of claims fulfilled divided by the number of claims the company gets. So higher the claim settlement ratio a company has, the more credible it is. The next thing is that it should also have a good amount settlement ratio. The previous point said that it should have a good claim settlement ratio, but it should also have a good amount settlement ratio, which is the amount of the total claims they pay divided by the amount of the total claims they get. Some companies are very notorious for settling the claims with a smaller amount while holding on and rejecting the ones with bigger amounts. This improves their claim settlement ratio, but that is why you also need to look at the amount settlement ratio. And the final and the most important point while deciding your company to buy insurance from is that it must have a good solvency ratio. The solvency ratio basically tells you the amount of liquid cash a company has in relation to its liabilities, and no matter how good the intentions of a company are, if it does not have enough cash, it won't have enough to pay you when you need it. By now, we have covered what kind of life insurance you should go for, when you should go for it, how long it should be, a few add-on factors that you can take, and how you can finalize the company from which you buy it from. It is more important to be informed of what all is not covered in the policy. Obviously, it's different for each policy and each company, but in general, deaths due to terrorist attacks, wars, natural disasters are mostly not covered. This is because there is a disproportionately large number of claimants in such unfortunate situations. Finally, I am going to leave you with a few additional tips that you can look for when you are finalizing your life insurance. I have always been advocating against huge lump sum payments to anyone. There are numerous cases of lottery winners, inheritors, and other people who get lump sums, swindling their money and going back to their previous financial situations very quickly. I thus highly recommend opting for an income benefit plan where instead of a lump sum, your family gets a fixed monthly income which will help them get back on their feet. Similar to an income benefit plan, there are also increasing monthly payout plans and lump sum plus monthly income plans. Next, keep in mind that annual premiums are cheaper than monthly ones. Apart from that, do set up reminders to pay your annual premiums because it is very easy to forget about it. In case you drink or smoke, please do not hide it from the company. It will increase your premium by a small amount, but at least the chances of rejection of your claim due to non-disclosure will be much lower. Also, find out if the premium that you are paying today is constant or if it will increase with time. Having covered everything that you should look for, this brings us to one of the problems in a term insurance plan, and that is that your debtors have first rights over the proceeds you get from your life insurance policy. In this case, if your debts are high and your cover is low, your family might be left without any money after all. To avoid this, make sure that your policy has a clause called the Married Women's Property Act. If this clause is enforced, which you can do at the time of buying the policy, the singular rights over the entire cover goes to your wife and kids. That is it. Do not forget to claim deduction under Section 80C while filing your income tax return. And when you get your policy papers, do check all your details, make sure that your name, address, nominee details, and every other detail is correct to the letter. Make sure that your family does not go through any other trouble when they are already suffering from an emotional trauma. There are plenty of websites and agents from whom you can buy your term insurance. Just look for them on Google. That is it. Now you know everything that you need to know, and the next step is taking action. Thanks for staying with me till the very end, and I sincerely hope that you got value from the time you spent with me. In case I missed any point, or in case you have any kinds of doubt, please send an email to hi@fitrichsane.com. In the first episode, I listed out the points that you must take care of before investing your first penny. This is the third episode where I talked about your life insurance, and in the next one, I'll talk about the basics of health insurance. Subscribe to this podcast for future learnings on how you can get fitter, richer, and saner. Finally, it's time for the disclaimer. While everything I have said in this podcast is true, exact recommendations always vary from person to person depending on your personal financial situation. Talk to your financial advisor, but now at least you will know what they are talking about.